Is Virgil van Dijk finished? Ever since Liverpool splashed out a world record fee of £75 million on Virgil van Dijk, he has been nothing short of a revelation. Since his arrival at the club in December 2017, he has won everything there is to win in club football. This includes the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and even the FIFA Club World Cup. Individually, he has also picked up various honours, making the PFA Team of the Year on 3 occasions and winning the Premier League Player of the Season in the 18-19 season. And his world-class quality has not gone unnoticed among his peers. Just earlier this year, none other than Erling Haaland described Van Dijk as the toughest defender he has ever faced. Speaking to ESPN, Haaland was quoted saying, "You know how tall he is, how strong he is and how fast he is, and also the timing is crazy. I don't think I won one duel against him because he is a physical monster," he went on further. But this season he has been part of a Liverpool team who have only won 2 out of the opening 6 Premier League games. A team that has conceded 2 goals against the likes of Fulham and 4 away to Napoli in the Champions League. Something that is unheard of in a Liverpool team containing Van Dijk. So after achieving so much with Liverpool and being so highly respected among the best players in the world, where has it gone wrong for Virgil van Dijk this season? A key factor in Virgil van Dijk's decline has to be the injury he suffered in the beginning of the 2021 season in the Merseyside derby at the hands of Jordan Pickford. Just 6 minutes into the game, he had to be substituted after a challenge from the Everton goalkeeper, which caused an ACL injury in his right knee. This led to a long spell on the sidelines where he missed the 2020 Euros tournament and only returned over 9 months later on the 29th of July 2021 in a pre-season friendly. And the fact that Virgil van Dijk was touching 30 years of age when this happened would have definitely affected him more so than if the injury happened early on in his career. To put into perspective the long-term consequences of this injury, take a look at some of the other players who suffered a similar injury and how the rest of their careers went. Paul Gascoigne, for instance, was never quite the same player after suffering an ACL injury in the early 90s. The rest of his career involved inconsistency, falling out of shape and reoccurring injuries. But perhaps the best example to show how serious an ACL injury can be is Michael Owen. After rupturing his ACL in the 2006 World Cup, he only managed double figures in league goals once in the following 7 seasons after the injury. He would go on to play only 9 more times for England and retired in 2013 after a single season at Stoke City in which he only managed 8 league appearances and 1 goal. So if past ACL injuries are anything to go off by, we may have seen the best of Virgil van Dijk already and currently are witnessing the beginning of the end. But to put Van Dijk's form purely down to his ACL injury would be far too simplistic. After all, Liverpool did finish second last season and Van Dijk was part of a defence that kept 21 clean sheets in the league, a feat which saw him make the PFA Team of the Year. He made 51 appearances in all competitions as Liverpool came second in the league, got to the Champions League final and won the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Clearly the ACL injury did not have as big of an impact as we first thought. So where else lie the issues? Well, first of all, Van Dijk has massively missed having Konate as a centre-back partner who has yet to play a game for Liverpool this season due to injury. In the first 3 league games of the season, Virgil started with 3 different centre-back partners in Matip, Phillips and Gomez. Having to play with a different centre-back partner no doubt had an effect on Van Dijk's performance. But not just the centre-back partners are our issue, the other players around Van Dijk have also been poor. Trent, for instance, has made a particularly poor start to the season. His defensive frailties are being exposed more so than ever. Not only was he caught napping by Vinicius Jr. in the Champions League final last season, he was also targeted by Manchester United in the league earlier this season and was seen failing to track Rashford for Sancho's first goal in the 2-1 defeat. Liverpool's midfield has also been poor this season. The absence of Thiago for most of the season meant that Liverpool failed to get a hold of the game in the midfield. The likes of Milner and Henderson are clearly coming to the end of their careers at Liverpool and do not have the quality to win the midfield battle. This in turn has exposed Liverpool's defence more, making Van Dijk look more vulnerable than ever before. More noticeably though, Van Dijk just isn't as composed as he was before and has clearly slowed down in all aspects of his game. In the opening league game of the season against Fulham, Van Dijk conceded a penalty against Mitrovic after fouling him in the box. The Serb came at him with pace and power which forced Van Dijk into a rash challenge in the box. A prime Van Dijk would have perfectly read Mitrovic's next move and timed a perfect tackle. More recently in the Napoli game in which Liverpool were defeated 4-1, Van Dijk was once again seen to be struggling. The high line that Liverpool are so famous for playing under Klopp is proving to be problematic for not just him but all of Liverpool's defenders. Van Dijk was seen often in that game struggling to chase down the defender when the ball was played over the top, getting outmuscled by the Napoli attackers and failing to time his tackles properly. All of these flaws were on display when Virgil fouled Osimhen in the penalty box for Napoli's second goal. Now of course, the Liverpool defence as a whole was shocking that game, especially Gomez, who lost the ball deep in his own half a couple times. But Van Dijk has clearly lost a yard of pace and this is massively affecting his game. Many thought that Van Dijk was making Konate look like a world-class centre-back, but his absence is proving that perhaps it was the other way round. Maybe Konate was hiding the serious effects of Van Dijk's ACL injury. Now to say Van Dijk is finished may be too harsh. Clearly the midfield in front of him and the defenders around him have not been as good as they have been in the previous seasons. Naturally that means that Van Dijk also will not be as good as he was in the previous seasons. But still, he is clearly not the player he once was. He is not as fast as he once was, his timing in the tackle and reading of the game is not as precise as it used to be, and he is often seen to be ball watching. Once Konate returns, I expect Van Dijk to be close to back to his best, but he definitely isn't the domineering centre-back he used to be. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is Virgil van Dijk declining or is this a temporary blip? And as always, please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.